Hey everybody,
What's up, amnesiacs?
welcome back to Axiom Amnesia Trivia for the Culture, and we're talking about movies.
For the culture.
This is episode number 4, and we are ready to do the ladies against the gents. I'm representing the ladies, he's
I'm
representing
the gents.
That's
and
right.
We're gonna win like we always do.
And in case this is the first time you are watching, this is how it goes. We put up a movie, somebody has to name what movie that is.
Strictly from a screenshot.
Yes.
Or a frame, as some people would call it.
Yes. And so I'm predicting that today the first 3 have turned out to be ties, the first 3 challenges. So hopefully this one we will be winning, ladies, but we'll see.
What's going to happen is, I think these are going to all be pretty hard because we've had ties. And
we're trying to stump each other.
Yeah, but we'll see how this goes.
All right, we'll see. So are you ready for the first one?
I am.
All right, let's take a look. This is the first one. What movie is this?
Oh my. So see, this is like tricking me, right? Because the first thing I thought of when I saw this, I'm not going to get the point. First thing I thought of was Rosewood. But I know it's not. They seem to be looking out of bars or something like that. And what I was thinking was that scene where the clan was outside and, you know, he came to the door and it was like the door partially open.
In Rosewood.
Yeah, in Rosewood.
Uh-huh.
So, from what I know, the guy's name is Don Cheadle.
Yes, you're right about that.
And it took me some time during that explanation to come up with the correct answer.
So you're really just basically BSing.
No, I didn't know at first, but that's...
You're talking it through.
I'm just going to say Hotel Rwanda.
Let's see if you're right.
Oh!
You are right. It is Hotel Rwanda.
I have no idea how I got that.
All right, well, let's talk about Hotel Rwanda. For those of you who may not have seen it, it came out in 2004. The story is basically of a hotel manager who housed over 1,000 Tutsi refugees in Rwanda during the struggle between the Hutu militia. So it was the Hutus against the Tutsis. And I mean, this was one of the, to me, Don Cheadle, this is just,
Don Cheadle is
excellent, excellent actor. And there's nothing that he's ever acted in that I thought that he wasn't good. But this one is one, I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, you need to see this movie.
For the culture.
For the culture, right. I mean, it's just one of those things that you just have to go, I've seen it at least one time. I've seen it a bunch of times, though.
Yeah.
And it stars, like you mentioned, Don Cheadle, Sophia Okonedo, I think is how you say her last name. That's the wife that you saw in the picture there. And Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
I only know that name from Lupe Fiasco.
Well, he's been in a bunch of stuff, but he was in Signs.
Suicide or had
River Phoenix
or something
back in the day. But the big movie I think of when I think of Joaquin Phoenix is I think of Signs.
Oh,
that movie Signs. He was the brother in that movie with Mel Gibson, you know, where the aliens come to town.
Yep.
So, yeah.
One point for me.
You get one little point for that.
Point.
It's, don't worry about it.
I just know you're not going to get the one that I have in store for you.
Okay, let's see what that is then.
Do you have any idea?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Can you make out the faces? Because I know that
I can make out the faces, and this is about to give me some clues here, and I'm going to have to talk this through. Okay, that is T.C. Carson. Okay, and I know this movie is from the 90s. I know this is the movie where throughout the movie he turns white. Basically, he's a what do you call that? Like he's a newscaster.
Oh,
and so somewhere throughout the movie he just turns whiter and whiter, and I don't remember all the whole plot. I'm trying for the life of me to remember the name of this movie. T.C. Carson, he's the guy who was Kyle on Living Single.
Yes, he was.
You know, I'm just trying to just give you as much information as I can.
To get more time so that you can think of it, but I don't think you will.
What was the name of this movie?
Does that mean you give up? Or?
Oh man, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Okay. I cannot name the movie. I know the movie. I just don't know the name of the movie.
That's the name of the movie.
Oh.
Living Large.
Wow.
1991.
Wow.
So I always think of this movie. So to give you clues about the movies that I pick, you're going to know that it has some great meaning to
from the 90s.
Most of the time, and probably from the 90s, that they're going to have some significant message in there. And I always think of this movie, and I don't think it gets the respect that it deserves for the great feat that they pulled off. And it's 1991, and the director is Michael Schultz. And it's about, a black guy from the hood, turns into a reporter because he stumbles upon something that the news stations couldn't get live, right? Before, all this live stuff we have with the internet. And then so he gets into the corporate world of news entertainment, basically, and starts to turn white and more and more white.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's really crazy stuff. And, if you were to tell me that one screenshot was too fuzzy or whatever, I would have just showed you this one. So it stars Terrence T.C. Carson, Lisa Arundel is her name?
I think she was in some movies
Loretta
back
Devine.
then. Yeah, Loretta Devine.
Yep.
A staple.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. Okay. So now I'm feeling like maybe my picks are still too
No, that first
easy,
one was really hard.
But okay, I hope they get easier.
Yeah, it's just that I'm really good. I tried to tell everybody I'm good at this. So, let's go ahead and put it on you.
All right, so it's 1-0, ladies. I've lost us a point, but I'm going to do my best this next one and see what we can come up with. All right, do you know this movie?
Yes. This is an easy one. So, I could tell you my favorite line from this movie.
What's your favorite line from this movie?
I don't remember it exactly, but it's one of my favorite words. He said, since I got this tape, it has been the bane of my existence. So that phrase, bane of my existence, is always stuck with me from Enemy of the State.
Okay. All right. You're right. It is Enemy of the State. Will Smith. It's a movie that came out in the late 90s. It came out in 1998.
We reach a conundrum, though. Can we consider it a black movie?
Okay, so that was the question that I had, but I feel like I'm going to call it a black movie if the lead is black.
Okay, yeah, I do.
That's what I'm taking as a black movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I'm winning though. So
whatever. So you have two, but I haven't had my turn yet for this round.
Who was the woman in the picture? Lisa
Bonet?
Bonet?
Yeah, you tell me who this woman is in this picture.
That was Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's she famous from?
She's famous from Cosby Show and A Different World.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know her from.
Yeah, she was in a couple of movies along the way, but
she's famous for getting with Lenny Kravitz.
Right. And having a daughter who now
just like
famous
her.
that looks just like her.
Looks just as old as her, I think.
Oh, stop it. Or maybe old or young, or who knows. But they do look identical. They really do. So that's Enemy of the State. So if you have not seen Enemy of the State, it's about...
I keep hearing some weird noise.
I know, it's like a whistle or something. What is that sound? Something. Anyway, Enemy of the State was made in 1998, and it's about a lawyer who basically gets a hold of this evidence. He accidentally receives evidence, and then all of these things where the government is chasing him down. In that movie, we mentioned Will Smith and Lisa Bonet, but it actually also stars Regina King as Will Smith's wife in that movie. So Regina King has been in so much stuff. To me, she is like totally an underrated actress, because even now, like, she's been in a few series. She's in that series, is it 7 Seconds? That's on Netflix, I think it is. I mean, I didn't think it was all that great, but that, and then she was also in
Everything.
What's that other one recently though? So people could want to watch it. Yeah, TV show American Life, or something where it's the same people every season, but they have a different
American Crime.
American Crime. That's it.
Yep.
So she's in that too. Yes, you get no, you don't really get a real point. You get like a fake point.
A brownie point.
So that's who's in it. And then also Gene Hackman, who has been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all right, you got your 2 points.
Yes, gents, we're kicking that A. See, we're not cussing on here. Are you ready for your next attempt?
Yes. Okay, so I know right away what movie this is, and maybe I should just cut to the chase and say what it is. It's Dead Presidents.
What? How do you know that?
Give me my point. Okay, so how do I know that? First of all, Lorenz Tate. He was very popular in the 90s in some movies, but it wasn't like it was that many movies, right? He had about 4 or 5, so I knew that it was one of those. The next thing is, I just have seen that movie a bunch of times. It's about a guy who, well, I'll let you tell what it's about.
I was busy doing something.
Well, okay, then I'll tell what it's about.
It's about a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
Who, a guy who goes to Vietnam in the Marine Corps, and then he gets out, and him and his friend, and he's struggling to, get on their feet after, being a black veteran.
Right.
In the 70s.
Right. And, there were a lot of famous people in this movie, or famous black actors and stuff.
And this movie came out in 1995, so that directed by the Hughes brothers, who we really haven't heard from in a long time.
I know. What are they doing?
Chris Tucker in there. Keith David. Do you know who that is?
Yes. The guy
Jennifer
with the gap in his teeth.
Mama.
The mama of everybody. Yes.
Clifton Powell, who is in every movie.
Pinky from Friday.
Listen up, people. Clifton Powell is in almost every black movie.
He really is. I think he's in more black movies than any other black actor.
Black movies.
He really
Howard.
is. Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Bokeem Woodbine, right?
Oh yeah. Was that this one? I think that's a different movie.
Or is that I'm getting my movies mixed up. Because there's what's the other one that that you can easily confuse this with? The one that had
I can't think of the name.
You know which one I'm talking about with the comedian though.
Oh, Chris Tucker was
not
that
Chris
one
Tucker.
Too?
No, the one who always used to do the Michael Jackson impressions.
That was Chris.
No, and act like he was sniffing cocaine as Michael Jackson. He was just talking about oh my gosh, he was just talking about Cosby and how he had a relationship with Bill Cosby, and because we watched that interview. What's the name of this guy? Oh
I don't know.
gosh,
you can't be bringing up stuff we don't know while we're live. Basically.
Well, anyway, all right. So I'll put it in the I'll put it in the notes once I figure it out. Eddie Griffin.
Oh yeah, Eddie Griffin. I remember.
That's the other movie.
He was smoking that weed and stuff. Out there in the jungle.
Right. So anyway, so Dead Presidents. I got it. I knew it. I got our points, ladies.
1 point, but that's okay.
All right.
I respect that.
So, are you ready?
Am I ready?
Yes, that's the question I'm asking.
We're going for.
This is the third and final round of this episode. And this one just might stump you.
What?
Do you know?
What? I don't know what that is. Wait, just explain. This is really old, whatever it is.
Okay, that's a clue.
Yeah.
It's old.
It's a clue, and it might be Hattie McDaniels.
No, it's not Hattie McDaniel.
I don't know. I give up.
Don't give up yet. Just think about it. It's old. What does it look like?
A woman on stage, and she's wearing a dress made of donuts or flowers.
Okay.
And that's it. I have no clue.
So you give up?
Yes.
Okay. This movie is
The
Wiz.
Oh my.
And that is one of the witches, and she's singing this song that is famous from the movie The Wiz from 1978.
Okay, you cheated.
How did I cheat?
Because I would not know this.
It doesn't matter. You should know it. The Wiz is a cultural staple. You should know The Wiz, and not this one that they just came out with, which I did watch on TV. It was not that good. Okay, you should know the original Wiz. There are some.
Is it a musical?
It is a musical, but you still have to know it.
I know of it. I've watched it maybe twice.
But what I was going to say, so in this scene though, in this scene of The Wiz, she actually is singing this song that she's famous for. Now, Mabel King if you ever saw that show, What's Happening, was the mama off What's Happening, Raj's mama.
Huh.
And she also, because that show was big around this time too. So she also starred in this, and she's singing this song called "Don't Nobody Bring Me No Bad News."
Oh.
And we would play it for you if it wasn't going to cause an issue, but we won't play it. But just look up that song from The Wiz, and that's what it is, and then you'll be able to know and sing along with that song. What year was this? The Wiz was put out in 1978.
Okay.
And it was starring, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson. He was the Scarecrow. I want you to be able to see it at the same time. So from left to right, it's Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow, Dorothy as Diana Ross as Dorothy, and then Lena Horne is not shown here, but she was, Glinda the Good Witch. And then Mabel King, you just saw in that picture. Nipsey Russell is the one that's the Tin Man. And that's it. And so, I mean, if you haven't figured it out, it's basically a black version of The Wizard of Oz.
Yep. Just slightly better music.
Are you sad because now you lost a point?
Yeah. So now that we've come to this point, we could squeak out a win, but based on the next one, I'm not quite sure about that one.
Okay, let's see.
So the score is 1-2, gents in the lead.
So the best we can do is a tie, ladies. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Okay. We know this is Martin Lawrence on the right. No, I don't know what this is exactly because I didn't recall Lisa Nicole Carson, who is on the left, as being in this movie that I think it is. But let's just see. Is this Life?
Yes.
I don't remember this scene from the movie. I just am looking at, let me tell you, my clue was Lawrence.
His clothing.
Yeah, the clothing, the striped clothing. That was my only clue.
Yep. So that's it. Everyone knows Life. If not, you should know it. Everybody was in it from 1999. And basically what happens, if you don't know, it's way back in the 30s, and two guys who are basically strangers get wrongfully convicted and get sentenced to life. And they spend their time in jail trying to get out, in prison trying to get out.
Mm-hmm. Young millennials, you might not know this movie, but it's one that you should know just for the culture.
Yeah, for the culture.
That and The Wiz, because I know some of y'all don't know the old Wiz. Watch the old Wiz.
Oh, yeah.
And the old Roots, not the new one.
So who was in this movie?
So I see on the right already, Bernie Mac, right?
Yep.
And then there's Martin Lawrence, of course, Eddie Murphy. I don't even know this guy's name on the left.
I don't know. I had an exhaustive list, but I don't know where it went.
But yeah, I mean, there just was a bunch of people in this movie, and it was definitely funny. And I think what was good about this movie was it brought together like the two powerhouses of the 90s in comedy, being Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
They were both at the top of their game during that point, and to see them together in the movie was really cool.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yet again,
we have a tie. Like, how do we have a tie? And let me just say this for the record. First and foremost, we actually pick our own movies, and we have a way of delivering them and serving them up so that we don't see each other's movies ahead of time.
Right. And so we sit back to back.
Mm-hmm. In our office.
Basically, when it's her turn for the ladies, she basically broadcasts her images.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see them, and we guess that way.
Yeah. So like, we're not just picking them and then just like, oh, it's always going to be a tie. No, this really is a tie. I'm surprised. What that means is that we're probably equally as good.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I don't know. We'll see until next time. So let me just say this. Let us know in the comments how many you got right. Did you miss any? Which was the hardest one for you to guess? Because I know that first one, I cannot be alone with not being able to guess that movie. Living Large. Like, that was hard because I knew the movie, but I didn't know the name.
Oh, yeah. That's one I constantly think of. But let us know in the comments how many you got right, which ones were really easy, and where you think that we should brush up.
Right. Yeah.
And what sort of movies are we keeping out, or are we leaving out too?
Yeah, we definitely need to know that for sure. And don't forget to share, subscribe, hit the bell, and also check the description, because in the description for this video, you'll find links to all of those videos where you can find them on Amazon and stuff like that. So always look in the description after, because it'll be a spoiler for you ahead of time, and then you'll be able to know.
Yep, do it.
Alrighty, bye-bye. Next time I'm winning.